Batman is one of the celebrated superheroes despite possessing no actual powers. It's not just because of his gadgets or his fighting skills, but his willpower. Batman's inner strength is so astounding, he is one of the only people who can resist the Scarecrow's fear gas and Poison Ivy's pheromone control. Batman's phenomenal self-discipline is due to training mentally for years. This practice allows him to stay calm and logical in the direst situations while other superheroes would panic and fall apart. No matter how many times he gets knocked down, he gets back on his feet, insisting that he will never give up. However, there are a few times where Batman seemingly truly was beaten. At the end of the day, Batman is only human, meaning that he has a breaking point just like everyone else. All you have to do is strike him where it hurts. A very select few have managed to break Batman by saying the wrong thing, hurting his loved ones, or by beating the crap out of him. I'm Will for What Culture, and here are 10 comic book characters who broke the Batman. 10. A random kid. The first issue of Gotham Knights begins with Batman working on a double homicide. The victims, Senator Jack Miles and his wife, shot dead in front of their son Barrett. Since Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered in front of him when he was 10, working on the case forces him to relive the worst moment in his life. Although he's dealt with murders countless times, Nightwing is worried that this one is going to be hard on Bruce. While Batman hunts down suspects, Nightwing says he's wasting time since they know who the killer is. Nevertheless, the Dark Knight says he can't close the case until he's exhausted all possibilities. After double-checking the evidence, Batman concludes that the killer is the Senator's son, Barrett. Despite being blessed with loving parents, Barrett was mentally disturbed and believed his life would be better without them. There is nothing Bruce Wayne covets more than reuniting with his mother and father. To watch a child willingly throw that away for no real reason is the most insulting thing possible in his eyes. The Gotham Knights series was meant to depict a more cynical side of Batman, and this story was the perfect way to get this point across, as he does not take the reality of the situation well. 9. Hush. When Tommy Elliot was a boy, he made his parents' car crash so he could inherit their fortune. However, the doctor, Thomas Wayne, managed to save Tommy's mother's life. When Thomas Wayne and his wife were murdered, their son Bruce Wayne inherited their wealth, making Tommy redirect his rage and resentment towards him since he had the life that Tommy desired. Tommy couldn't let his vendetta against Bruce go and eventually became the supervillain Hush. When he learned that Bruce loved Catwoman, Hush surgically removed her heart and kept her alive with an electrode, forcing Bruce to watch the woman he loves literally have her heart ripped out. Like the Joker, Hush hasn't just broken Batman once, but many times, making him one of the Caped Crusaders' scariest enemies. 8. Captain Boomerang. Captain Boomerang is one of the silliest supervillains in DC Comics. How could a second stringer like him be considered a threat? Well, that's the thing. Since Boomerang knows he's perceived as a joke, he's more likely to lash out in a pathetic attempt to be recognized. In the 2004 story Identity Crisis, Boomerang learned he had a child. He was a laughingstock in the supervillain community and so was desperate to impress his son. After he was given the location of Jack Drake, the father of Batman's sidekick Tim, Boomerang thought this would be the perfect opportunity to show that he was still a force to be reckoned with. When Jack Drake heard Boomerang enter his house, he rang Batman and Tim to say goodbye. Realizing what is about to happen, Tim started sobbing, begging Batman to help his dad. The outlook of Batman's helpless face when he realizes he can't reach the house in time is truly harrowing. Although there was nothing Batman could have done to stop Boomerang, he couldn't help but feel like he failed Robin. 7. The Predator. When Batman heard stories of a monster in Gotham hunting and skinning hoodlums, he searched for clues to help locate this enigmatic creature. When he came face to face with the culprit, he learned that it was the Predator. Yes, the actual Predator. I cannot stress how underprepared Batman was for this confrontation. Although he is an expert at hiding in the shadows, this skill is useless against the Predator, since its visor can detect any life form's heat signature. The Predator pummeled and slashed Batman until he was on the brink of death. Realizing that he couldn't possibly beat the beast in a fair fight, Batman retreated. While he healed, he built an armor specifically designed against the alien to even the odds for their rematch. When Batman confronted the Predator again, he did emerge victorious. However, at the time of this publication, it was, hands down, the biggest beating Batman had ever received in comics. 6. Stephanie Brown. Although Stephanie Brown was better known as the superheroine spoiler, she had a test trial as Batman's new Robin. After she used lethal force on a criminal, Batman fired her. Brown believed she could prove to Batman that she had what it takes if she stopped a massive crime spree. Brown decided to initiate a gang war with the city's biggest criminals, but stop it before it got out of hand. That way, she could have every major gangster in Gotham arrested without casualties. Sadly, things didn't end up quite like that, and she ended up dying herself. Believing that there was no way the cops could stop the crime wave, Batman ordered Commissioner Gordon to turn over all his authority over the police force to Batman. Gordon was so insulted by this, he said he was done working with the superhero. For once, Batman had no allies in the police, causing the city to perceive the Dark Knight as just another vigilante rather than Gotham's protector. Stephanie Brown had nothing but good intentions with her plan, but she ended up tarnishing Batman's reputation forevermore. 5. David Kane. A mercenary called David Kane raised his daughter Cassandra to be the ultimate assassin. When she realized how manipulative her father was, Cassandra left him and became Batgirl. Through Cassandra, Kane learned of Batman's secret identity and vowed to destroy his life for taking his daughter away from him. When Lex Luthor ordered Kane to take out Bruce Wayne after he mocked Luthor's company, Kane killed Bruce's girlfriend and framed him for the murder. Bruce was found guilty and sent to jail. Although since this is Batman, he managed to escape almost instantly. At this point, the reader assumed Bruce would use this opportunity to find the real murderer and prove his innocence. That's when Bruce did the last thing anyone expected. He quit. And I don't mean he quit being Batman. He quit being Bruce Wayne. Batman saw the situation as an opportunity to abandon his facade as the billionaire playboy so he could dedicate all his time to being a superhero. Batman did eventually change his mind, clear Bruce Wayne's name, and bring the real killer to justice. Nevertheless, David Kane made Batman do something no one ever thought was possible: give up. 4. Zatanna. When Dr. Light broke into the Justice League Watchtower, he learned the secret identity of every member of the team. If Light publicly revealed the identity of any hero, it could jeopardize the life of all their loved ones. In the end, they decided that the team's magician, Zatanna, should use her sorcery to make Light forget their identities. When Batman walked in as Zatanna performed the spell, he went berserk, saying Zatanna was no better than a supervillain since she was basically lobotomizing Light. Panicked, Zatanna froze Batman in place and erased his memory of the event. When Batman learned what Zatanna had done to him years later, he felt utterly violated. When he learned most of the League agreed with her decision, he abandoned the team and built a satellite called Brother Eye to spy on them. 3. Joker. It is impossible not to mention the Joker in this list since he's tormented Batman more than anyone. He's done a lot in his time, but in terms of getting under Batman's skin, Joker's crowning achievement was murdering the second Robin, Jason Todd. He battered Todd with a crowbar before locking him in a warehouse with a bomb. Although Batman rushed to the warehouse as quickly as he could, the bomb detonated and Jason Todd was killed. Batman sees Jason Todd's death as his greatest failure, and while the Joker has come close to traumatizing the Dark Knight even more, this still stands out as his worst offense. 2. Heretic. Despite the fact that her father, Ra's al Ghul, is an arch nemesis of Batman, Talia al Ghul is in love with him and desperately desires to rule the world with Bruce Wayne by her side. When she had a child with Bruce called Damian, her dream seemed to be becoming a reality. The future was dashed when Batman told Talia he would never quit as Gotham's protector. Refusing to give up, Talia created a clone of Damian called Heretic and brainwashed him with her ideas of global domination. However, Heretic cannot truly rule the world with Talia while his pretender, Damian, still breathes. Heretic tracked down Batman's son and plunged a sword into his heart, killing him. It was heartbreaking when the Joker killed Jason Todd because he was like a son to Batman, but Damian is literally Batman's son. Not only that, but Batman had to watch his child get killed by a twisted clone of himself. 1. Bane. Did you really think anyone but Bane could be the top spot on this list? After all, Bane is best known for breaking Batman's back in the 1994 story arc Nightfall. But despite Bane's reputation, he shouldn't just be remembered as the man who broke Batman's back, but also his spirit. In the 2019 story, City of Bane, the titular character took over the city of Gotham. And just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, Bane broke the neck of Batman's valet and loyal companion, Alfred Pennyworth. Although it took a long time for Bruce Wayne's spine to recover when Bane shattered it, it is safe to say that Batman will never be the same without his dearest and oldest friend by his side. And there you have it, folks, 10 comic book characters who broke Batman. Feel free to drop this video a like if you enjoyed it, and drop me a follow on Twitter at YouSlyDogU. I'm Will Fort Culture, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time.